I seriously don't know why I'm bothering making this video, because I understand that for many DC fans out there is no hope for the DCU. And what the future has to offer is not for everyone. I recently watched a video made by this small creator like myself called Soapbox Games, who creates, well, great content, so make sure to follow him. The link to his channel is in the description down below. And this man brings up some really fair points for why he doesn't want to be around the DCU anymore. But I felt like doing something different here. I wanted to speak a bit more about why I have hope for the DC Extended Universe. There's no doubt that Warner Brothers have made a lot of bad and questionable decisions during, well, the run of the DCU. But in my opinion, this truly feels like getting into a new era for the DCU. And yes, this is a subjective opinion. I want to say that loud and clear first, because I understand, as I said, it's not for everybody. But as normally, I'll speak from my own view of everything, and whatever you want to do with it is totally up to you. But let's start with the bad things. The DC Extended Universe has been around for 9 years now. Whoa. And what we have been getting is not the best, I admit that. We had a rough start with WB make decisions that turned the whole DC fandom to a fucking battleground. They didn't give Zack Snyder freedom when he worked with his project, and same went for Ben Affleck when he wanted to write his Batman movie. But this year we've gotten rumors that suggest that WB have made their final decisions. And a lot of fans are really displeased with this. I mostly referred to the part of the fandom that really has a strong connection to the Snyder fandom. But let's talk a bit about the rumors. The rumors suggest that Affleck is out, which I'm sure doesn't really come as a surprise for anyone at this point, because this man has not been happy with the decisions that WB has made. Alongside the WB issues, he's had a lot of personal issues during the time playing this role, you know, the alcoholism and the divorce that was going on. This man has been depressed playing this role. What this rumor does, though, is that it's suggesting that he will be replaced by Batgirl and Superman being replaced by Supergirl. What I want to mention that brings hope to this is, well, I do see the issues, I do. I will not deny the issues with this, but believe me when I say, I do see the issues. I also would like to see a Superman and Batman kicking ass on the big screen, and in one way we will, because of the rumored J.J. Abrams movie coming out, and also the Batman coming out in March. I have some great news for that as well, but I will take that for another video. What we will get at this point is a universe with actors that actually want to play these roles. And what we do know is, of course, that Cavill still wants to play this role, and I'm sure he will come back one day. I mostly think the problems right now is with the whole Witcher issue that has been brought up to the light, well, relatively lately. But let's continue. Hate or love the new decisions, it's totally up to you. I understand if you hate it, and I respect you if you hate it, but I also respect you even more if you're open-minded. I've seen, read and heard the problems, and I understand and agree with many of them. But what I really want to bring to the light is that Warner Brothers are not taking as many decisions for the upcoming movies as they did before. And what I mean with this is that they're not taking control of something they don't understand. And I want to bring up some examples here. This is something we see from example Matt Reeves' upcoming Batman movie. And I really do believe that Matt gave Warner Brothers an eye-opener. Back when the Batman was in early stages, Matt spoke to Warner Brothers about making this movie his own. And he stated that he wanted full control over this movie. I will quote him right now in a second. Here is a quote from Matt Reeves himself. I told Warner Brothers that I had to be given freedom to do the definitive Batman movie. Impossible to launch halfway into a Batman. Impossible to do as an amateur. Aim for the stars. That doesn't mean we'll get there, but if we leave without ambition, it's bound to be a disaster. I will not have tolerated to miss on the comic book character that I like the most. What he said was more or less that he wanted to make this his own thing, and that's what he did. It's also been rumored, and I couldn't find anything about this right now, because I know I've read about it earlier, but I couldn't find any articles about this at the moment, so take this with a pinch of salt. But back in the days, it was actually rumored that Matt Reeves stepped down from the projects because Warner Brothers tried to tamper with it. But later he came back to the project when they, understood that we can't tamper with your project. Let's move on. The same goes for James Gunn, who stated that he has always had complete freedom when he's worked with both of his projects, The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. And this goes for both Marvel and DC. This is something he's stated himself, which also proves that Warner Brothers did not tamper with this project. How I see this as an eye-opener is because it's probably given some thought to the executives of the involvement of dceu and director's visions to just let it be. Let me bring up another example. If we speak a bit about Aquaman 1, we can all agree that it's a pretty light-hearted movie and it's not very dark and deep in any type of way. It doesn't bring in the horror aspects to the movie. And that's something James Wan is very, very, well known for. He's a horror director and producer. And if we compare Aquaman 1 to the animated movie or even the comic, we can see, a huge difference in the tone it's told in. But it's been stated that James Wan is going back to his horror roots for this movie. And it feels like it's something he would have done with the first one if he had the opportunity. And now for some reason he does. I really do believe that there is a connection to why all these three have been able to have a freer will. Because as stated, Warner Brothers has opened their eyes and understood the problem. Because as stated, WB has opened their eyes and understood that the problem isn't these amazing characters. It's the fact that they stick their noses too deep into these projects and try to tamper with them and make it what they want. They try to, kind of compete with the MCU, and they really could have if they just would have done their own thing. Love or hate the rumor decisions for the future of the DCEU, but I'll be honest to say that what we will be getting for this year seems like a high turn for the DCEU and for DC in general. The Batman 2022, Black Adam, Flashpoint, Aquaman, Peacemaker, Batgirl, the Suicide Squad game, Gotham Knights, all of it seems really promising. If you've stayed this long, I'd be pleased if you subscribe to our channel, and if you don't know me, well, I'm David Miranda. And I've been your host for today. If you want to follow our other social medias, they are right here. Let me know what you guys think about the future of the DCU in the comments down below. Stay awesome, guys. David out.